Greetings. I'm Michael Quinn Patton, with over 50 years as a practicing program evaluator. So I bring a lot of history with me, and I thought I'd share some of that history as part of Black History Month. What I'd like to do today is call attention to the important African American project on honoring African American evaluators. Project called Nobody Knows My Name. It's aimed at identifying and spotlighting those early contributors to educational evaluation whose names are not well known. Rodney Hobson, former AEA president, did a special blog on the Nobody Knows My Name project, honoring Asa Hilliard III, among others. He wrote in that blog, when names like Ralph Tyler, Robert Engel, and Marcia Gutentag are remembered, so should those like Reed E. Jackson, Asa Hilliard, and Rose Butler Brown. He went on to say, their cumulative scholarship and evaluation agenda setting both laid a foundation for policies, legislation, and counter-narratives that challenged the racial hegemony and institutional segregation that existed in the United States and contributed to the intellectual development of democratic, equitable, and culturally responsive evaluation more generally. Asa Hilliard, III, was the keynote presenter at the annual American Evaluation Association conference in New Orleans in 1988. I was president of AEA at that time, and Dr. Hilliard gave a riveting presentation about the impact of different visual characterizations of Africans and Egyptians over time in popular and academic publications. Before data visualization was a major trend. He was dealing with visual representations and their power. Another one of the African American thought leaders involved with the Nobody Knows My Name project is Dr. Stafford Hood, who in a New Directions for Evaluation article in 2001 described that project and his own coming to it, in which he said, "There was an empty spot within me when I first ruminated about my African American perspective on educational evaluation. Who has gone before me? Where is our history?" And so the purpose of his chapter was to remedy what he called, quote, our collective ignorance about scholarly work in educational evaluation by African Americans during the influential Tyler years, 1940 to 1960, much of which was importantly responsive. Jumping ahead now to the influence of African American contributions, Jardine Coffey has published in the American Evaluation Association one of the top read articles in the history of AJE called "What's Race Got to Do with It? Equity and Philanthropic Evaluation Practice." This article has already become a classic in the short time since it was first published, and is one of the most widely used articles in teaching evaluation. JARA's Equitable Evaluation Initiative has become one of the central contributions in expanding the field of evaluation and making the case that all evaluations should address equity. An important message at any time, but especially during Black History Month. So I'm Michael Quinn Patton, and that's my rumination on some of the history of evaluation, spotlighting the Nobody Knows My Name project, honoring little-known African American educational evaluators. I invite you to look into it.